All right, guys, awesome stuff that you hear. Well done. Now it's time to get straight into it. We're going to go and check out the solar career roadmap. All right. I'm not exactly sure where you're standing at the moment, but most likely it is that you want to either step up within your solar career, if it is that you're already working in a solar career, if you're already working in the solar market, or you want to get into the solar market. So let's just attack or look at that second option. Let's say that you're just starting within the solar industry and you want to get in, but you don't know exactly how to get in. Well, I've been there. I've definitely been there for a really long time. And this little roadmap that I'm going to show you is exactly what I was hoping someone to show me back in the days. It would have definitely cut my learning curve by, many months, if not years. Obviously, with the advanced tools that we have today, these days around AI, LinkedIn, social media, and so forth, things are much, much easier for you to get exposed to opportunities out there. So, first step, the first one of all, of the solar career roadmap, you need to understand the solar job market. What does this mean? It means that there's three markets or three spaces within the industry, which is the CNI, the residential or utility scale market. I've been through the three of them, starting at residential, which is the easiest to get into because it has a very high rotation. It's basically a rooftop in houses, installing residential solar systems in houses. Then you get the CNI, which is a bit of a step up, which involves commercial and industrial. CNI, commercial and industrial. It involves higher systems or bigger systems, let's say between 50 kilowatts all the way up to 1 megawatt or 1,000 kilowatts in power. And then you get a utility scale, which is a completely different market. I'm right now working in utility scale solar projects here in Sydney, Australia. And we do utility scale installations all across Australia, really. So utility scale are basically power plants, right? We need to find a land. There's a lot of land acquisition. There's a lot of agreements. There's a lot of contract management and so forth. It's a completely different market than the two others. So you need to better understand which one of these three do you want to get into. My advice, if you know nothing about solar, I would definitely start with the simplest one of all, the one that has a lot of rotation, the one that can contract the most people, which is the residential one. If you put a foot within the residential, then it'll be easier to scale up to CNI and then utility scale solar projects. Obviously, if you're already a solar engineer, a photovoltaic engineer, if you already have experience within the solar market, you want to upskill yourself. Let's say that you're already on residential, you want to upskill yourself and take yourself straight to utility or take yourself straight to CNI. Depends on you, depends on your goals, depends on what you're looking after, what you're looking for, and so forth. But the very first step, understand these three categories: CNI, residential, utility. And then you will have to apply for each one of these, whichever fits your goals best. Okay? That's the first step. Second step. The second step within the solar career roadmap is identify the role that fits your strengths. So let's say that you know yourself well enough by now. You came out of uni or you already have some years within the job market, whatever that is, right? And you find yourself that you're really good in sales, communications, or as a project manager, PM, or you're incredibly technical and organized and you're an engineer already, or you like administrative roles. Okay, what is your role? What fits your strengths best? Because as soon as we take care of those strengths and we amplify them, it'll be much, much easier for you to land a job within one of those three categories based on whatever your strength is. So, for instance, when I first started, I came from 10 years in the sales industry. In the background, I sold so many things and I was really good at communication. So, the very first step to get inside the solar market within the solar career, in my case, was in sales. I was super strong at that. And I knew that if I sold myself properly, I was able to get in, to put one step in. But if you're super technical, if you're really good at the technical side of things, maybe you want to aim for engineering, right? So know yourself better. See what fits your strengths better. I have an engineering background, as you know already. I'm an environmental engineer. So I went from sales, from technical sales, to being a project manager. And that kind of started escalating more and more and more as the years went on. All right, the third step within the solar career roadmap is learn the core skills. Obviously, if you're starting within the industry, you need to know the fundamentals. You need to know the core skills of solar. I teach these ones within my courses. I got 4 online courses that are going to teach you absolutely everything there is to know about the core skills in solar. For instance, technical stuff, all right? Technical stuff, tech, somewhere around like sizing the solar systems, sizing the cablings, sizing absolutely everything, making sure that all the technical components of the solar system are properly covered. Then permits. Obviously, if you're within the US market, you need to know that the US works with permits. So everything there is to know about the solar permits. That means that before starting an installation, companies need to have a permission within the AHJ, which means Authority Housing Jurisdiction. So there needs to be a permission from the AHA before you do an installation. So you need to understand the permits if you're in the US market. You need to know much more about the tools that there are out there, right, to be able to manage these projects properly and so forth. And obviously be incredible at communication, because communication is such a core skill. If you get the communications right, if you get the communications in place, guys, we got 50% of the job already done. We got 50% of ourselves already within the industry, because if you communicate properly, you will be able to stand out. So step 3, learn the core skills. Again, my courses will offer this. I got a course in solar energy, absolute basics and fundamentals, then solar energy for engineers, and then I got project management in solar energy, and I got off-grid solar energy courses as well. You can check them online as well. I'll show them. Then the step number 4, take strategic courses. We just covered these ones, guys. Make sure that the courses you take have real life experiences within them. Stop the BS, stop the bullshit, go straight to what counts, go straight to what matters. Cut off the middleman, cut off all of that nonsense that there's so, if you have already, been through a university career or any other career or studies, you're going to find that there's so much buzz out there in terms of content that is not applicable, that is not really necessary to take yourself to the next level. So you want to make sure you take courses. It's either mine or it could be any other course out there that you find it's useful, but it needs to have real life experiences, or that it's being taught by someone who has already been through the market, has already been out there. Me, myself, I already have more than 600 installations under my wing. I've been teaching 36,000 students out there. Feel free to check out my courses. But if you don't feel comfortable with them, which is absolutely fine, make sure you find courses that have real life experiences behind them. It'll take you from point A to point Z much faster, much faster. Okay. Step 5, build your portfolio. Obviously, if you're not within the industry already, it's going to be a little bit tough. That's why I'm telling you. It's either real portfolios, if you're already hired, or simulated projects. You can do simulations, right? You can use Helioscope, you can use Aurora, you can use Solar Edge, free trials, and start using these tools and learn them and build projects within yourself, so that when you face an interviewer, he should be able to tell you, hey guys, here it is, okay? Here are the projects that I've done. And you should be able to be one step ahead of anyone for that matter. All right, let's go next. Step 6, leverage LinkedIn the right way, including sample posts. So remember step 5 that we did simulated projects. If you are not already hired, then put your projects there, even if they're simulated. It will make you stand out. I will definitely use AI here to enhance your LinkedIn. But LinkedIn is the number one strategy. It doesn't get any higher or better or more effective than LinkedIn, really. Headhunters, people who live off employing people, they live off commissions from employing. So they're always looking for new talent out there. They're always looking. So if you make yourself stand out, they should be able to offer you something that's out there. So I possibly have maybe one job offer per every 2 weeks or so in LinkedIn because of my track record, because all of the 600 installations, because of the 12 years of experience in the market and so forth. But everything comes through LinkedIn. So leverage LinkedIn the right way towards yourself and your benefits. Step 7, pass interviews with confidence, even without experience. So everything that we've discussed already, like doing the simulated projects, the simulations, doing online courses with experiences, talking to people within the industry and so forth, will give you the lingo, will give you everything that you need to step into an interview and be able to pass it accordingly and properly and get an A, literally stand out, even if you don't have enough experience. I'll give you my own example. I had zero experience, guys, 0.0, but I was incredible at communication. And as soon as the very first interviewer that I had in my life when it comes to solar, the guy was tough. The guy was as tough as it gets. But what happened? So I'm just going to accommodate here for a second. That's better. So as much as I didn't have any experience, the guy, he cut me off at minute 5 saying like, I'm super sorry, but I need someone with more experience. All right, cool. Let's put it this way. After that comment, we spent the next hour and a half just talking and talking and digging and digging and digging. And he finally said, I need someone like you within my company. You're hired straight away. So we went from an absolute rejection to being hired. Imagine the power of communication. Imagine the power of words. Imagine the power of being able to persuade people towards where you want to go. So communications, guys, is so incredibly important. That'll get you straight into the market without a shadow of a doubt. So pass interviews with confidence. Then step 8, over deliver in your first role and grow fast. Guys, I cannot stress this enough. If you're great at communication, you will land a job. You will land a role 100%. Because communication is something that absolutely everyone loves. It's a soft skill, that's true, but it can be learned. It can be learned, definitely. So take courses out there, nurture yourself, make sure you have those soft skills, land your first job. I have no doubts that you will, and you will grow faster than you can even think about. Now, if you want any help on how to land this job, reach out to me in LinkedIn. I'm going to leave a link to my profile. Reach out. I'll help you out. I know thousands of people within the industry. I have so many students out there. But make use of me because I will definitely help you out. Because I empathize with you. I know exactly where you're standing. And I know how to get you to where you want to be. So that's it for now, guys. Feel free to check out the other resources within this Solar Pro Starter Kit, and we'll get started straight away. Let's go. Bye.